I'm more enjoying watching him age.
I shouldn't say bully. Sorry, bully suggests that he's a victim in some way. Sorry, he's very clearly.
Lay off Harvey Weinstein.
Hey, everyone, lay off. What did he do?
Hashtag justice for Harvey.
Justice for Harvey. Release the Snyder Cut. Justice for Harvey. The two worst things.
I love how you put them in the same category.
I do. I put them in the same category of people. No, but like. Obviously, he deserves it, but at the same time, it's just so weird.
Lay off my Harvey, okay?
It's just so weird to see a man just like slowly, like shriveling up.
He aged a decade in like a year.
Yeah. And welcome to a long-awaited episode 33 of Straight to Series.
I didn't die.
He didn't die. He went to Brazil and he came back alive. My name is Connor.
I'm Ian.
And yeah, welcome. It's good to be back. We missed you. Did you miss us? Probably not. But, you know.
What's that?
Yes? Where should I look? Dora? Oh, man. Did you ever have to watch Dora the Explorer?
Nope.
No. I've had to sit through, because I have younger brothers, I've had to sit through 3 generations of cartoons.
I got Teletubbies though. That was rough.
I had Teletubbies too, yeah.
Teletubbies is weird.
The terrifying son.
Yeah. Oh, the son is so creepy.
Just a child.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Do you know who produced that series?
Let me think. James Gunn.
Simon Cowell. Close.
So close.
Simon Cowell produced the series.
One is extremely despicable, and the other one is lovable.
Simon Cowell. Oh, right. Sorry. He produced the series, and when it went to America, I think I've definitely mentioned this to you.
I'm nearly sure you mentioned it, but I can't remember where it's going. Is it something to do with the handbag?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's where they went to America. Tinky Winky was like purple, but he was a man, so everyone in America was like, why does a man have a handbag? Is he gay? And everyone thought Tinky Winky was gay. Whereas
no one's like, why is the son a child?
Why is the son a terrifying child?
Why is there TV in one of their stomachs?
One of them in all 4 of their stomachs.
In all 4 of their stomachs.
Why do they have a machine that just sucks in there? What are they doing with that noo-noo?
It's a Hoover, man.
Yeah.
That was the noo-noo.
It was a noo-noo, right? Wasn't that what it was called?
I don't know.
Which is a word for fanny. Don't people refer to their fannies as noo-noo? Or
Do
pom-pom?
they?
I've seen that before, definitely.
Like 5-year-olds?
Tweet at us what you call your fanny, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, if we do we have an American audience?
We do actually. It's more American than anyone else.
What we mean is vagina, not your
dumper.
Not your dumper. No. Wow. I didn't think that's
It's
how
going
the podcast
well.
would
I think
start.
it's going really well.
Clearly 3 weeks have not stopped us in any way.
No ring rust.
No ring rust whatsoever.
Speaking of ring
rust, let's head to the box office.
Woo.
So it's been 3 weeks, so obviously lots of exciting stuff has happened on the box office.
Yes.
Bad Boys for Life has come out, and
it's doing really well.
Very strange that it's doing really well.
It's doing extremely well. It supposedly made January box office records.
Which is interesting because they're already talking about a sequel, right?
Yeah, and it took 17 years to make the third one. So if you think Martin Lawrence is fat now,
oh man,
wait till the 4th one, like serious Big Mama's House.
How much padding do you think he would need for Big Mama's House now? Not that much, right?
No padding
whatsoever.
He's got the padding.
I love the poster. It's skinny Martin Lawrence, but you go to the movie and it's just not the case.
And if you go to the first Bad Boys,
oh my
he's
God.
so skinny.
He is stick thin.
Yeah, I feel like I could throw him.
Yeah, me too. I'd never seen Bad Boys before, so when this third one was coming out, I thought maybe we'll do it on the podcast, maybe we'll go see it. So I decided to try watch it on Netflix. Couldn't get through it.
It's rough.
And I even did the thing where I was like, I'll take it upon myself. Maybe I wasn't in the mood for it. Went away, came back, tried to watch it again. Still couldn't do it.
Well, it's a 2-hour-long music video.
Oh my God, because that's all Michael Bay knew.
Yeah.
He'd been doing it for Meatloaf for
that's what it is.
Tina Turner for many years. It's really just not good.
That's some magnificent trivia.
Yeah.
That he directed many Tina Turner music videos.
Yeah. And Donny Osmond music videos as well.
And Meatloaf, as you said already.
Yeah, Meatloaf, yeah. Directed the Bat Out of Hell Meatloaf videos.
And supposedly he did a scene in Bad Boys 3.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that it's very Michael Bay-ish.
Yeah, well, I mean, the budget for...
So it's terrible?
Yeah, probably. Well, the budget for this movie is way lower than Bad Boys 2. And
I'd assume so. It's 90 million.
One of the complaints I've heard is that the directors went for kind of not a smaller story, but less outlandish as the other Bad Boys movies. And people are saying that they like the other ones because they went so far outlandish.
Okay.
They were entertaining. So because they've made this one a bit more realistic, it's not getting the same critical reception. But like,
I hear that it's becoming Fast and Furious.
Oh,
by the end of
really?
it. Now, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I actually want to see it though.
Yeah.
But that means I have to watch the first two, which I'm gonna do.
I know, yeah. You showed me. You're like, you've 10 minutes left of Bad Boys.
That's a rough 10
It
minutes.
is,
though.
he is. Taya Leone, despite looking incredibly attractive throughout the whole movie, is completely unlikable in the first one.
She's so annoying. The two guys are great together though. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Even I'm watching interviews with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to see the movie. Just by watching them converse, they seem like legit friends.
But they're apart for most of the first movie. And one of them is trying to pretend to be the other person for an ungodly amount of time in that movie.
And Martin Lawrence is so convinced that Will Smith's banging the shit out of his wife.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced he wasn't, because she should have been.
She should have been. Yeah, honestly. It's just that Bad Boys opens with such a strong scene of them doing the fake argument thing. It's like, man, I'll never get bored of this. And then they do it.
You're bored of it.
And then I'm bored of it. Yeah.
Best thing about it is the police commissioner.
Totally.
Or chief, whatever he is.
Whatever. I need to look up the actor's name.
He's something Pantaleone or something like that.
His name's Captain something. Like they keep calling, like it's like, hey Captain, blah 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 blah, all that stuff.
He is brilliant in it.
Every time he kills me.
Basketball scene.
Probably
my favorite scene in the whole
movie. I was making them all in before you came. So good.
This cigar though.
The cigar, playing basketball.
I love it. Exercising while smoking a cigar.
Yeah. He's at 100 for the entire movie. It's the best. And then I was telling you I watched The Fugitive afterwards because I'd never really seen it before, and he was in that as well, and I was having a great time watching him there. Oh, he's so good.
And much more subdued performance.
Not much. Slightly more subdued, I would say. He's man, when he takes it to 100, he is at 100, and it's fun to watch.
But sadly, Bad Boys for Life is hoovering up all the dollars that Dolittle is missing out on.
Oh yeah, that's the problem with Dolittle. Yeah. It looks Dolittle has turns out Robert Downey Jr. talking to animals is not enough. Turns out it needs to be a good movie as well.
It just shows how much the Iron Man character helps the box office.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's tailor-made for Downey though. It really is.
Yeah, but
Dolittle isn't.
It's just not doing well. I'm looking at the cast and I can't find the captain's actor here.
Is it Joe?
I don't know.
Pantaleone or something like that.
I don't know. I'm still looking. Yes, there he is. There, Joe Pantoliano. Pantoliano.
Okay.
Joe Pantoliano. There you go, Captain Howard. He doesn't look like himself in his picture. That's why I was confused. Look, I couldn't recognize him.
Yeah, but that's like 30 years later.
I know. He needs the mustache or like needs to
the basketball and the cigar.
The hair, basketball, cigar. I don't know. He's a
He needs to be given out to two black guys. Then I'd recognize him. Like, I know that guy.
Or even if he was eating steak, you know? He's a man from The Matrix as well. Or standing next to Tommy Lee Jones. All these times I would recognize him, but not in that picture, unfortunately. But yeah, Bad Boys for Life is crushing it, whereas Dolittle is not.
Dolittle cost $175 million to make. A Dr. Dolittle movie cost $175 million to make.
Think it's going to make that back?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Has it come out in China yet?
I don't know. Would China like this movie? Maybe.
I don't know. They love Pacific Rim. They love. I think they just. So they like to save movies. That's what I find.
Yeah.
Maybe they've got a conscience. Like the Chinese public are just like, we'll do the effort. We'll make the effort.
They must like Iron Man. No.
Of course.
Yeah.
They love Iron Man. Sure, Iron Man 3, they had their own edition.
Oh, yeah, I remember
the
that. The
China edition.
Yeah.
And it has not come out in China yet.
Okay, so maybe it'll do better, but so far it's not doing great.
But either way, it's going to die a death.
Yeah. I mean, look, it took Dolittle to get Robert Downey Jr. on the Joe Rogan Experience, which is a much better way to spend 2 hours.
That's the biggest win out of this movie.
Yeah, a much better way to spend 2 hours listening to those two guys talk.
And more people, I bet, will watch that.
I guarantee you.
Dolittle.
Guarantee you that is the case.
I think it was on like 6 million views last time I checked.
I'm not surprised. Even the clips are doing so well from the podcast. Not that we need to boost Joe Rogan experience anymore.
Oh, he needs some endorsement.
He does. He needs
from
some
us.
help from us specifically. We can send over our vast viewership to go help out struggling poor Joe Rogan. Please. Oh shit! I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, Joe. I apologize. But send us your dregs, please. We need them. But yeah, Dolittle not doing well. Bad Boys for Life for some reason doing very well.
17 years later. I'm really surprised, but the reviews have been alright for it as well.
It's been alright, yeah. I mean, it's so weird that Will Smith has not had box office success recently.
No.
And now
Gemini Man just tanked.
Which you watched?
Yeah, I didn't watch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, but what were you going to say?
I forget.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, no, but he also had Aladdin the same year, which was his biggest draw.
That's true.
But it's not really a Will Smith movie.
It's not his movie.
It's not a Will Smith movie, and he's big and blue for a lot of it and on steroids in it.
And we're doing a disservice to the lead actor by not hiring him for stuff. Do you remember that? Yeah, I remember that too. So I mean, nothing else really came out. The Gentleman.
That's coming out this weekend in America.
Yeah.
It didn't crush it in England, which I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought it'd be bigger.
It's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah,
it's a movie where you go, oh, Guy Ritchie obviously made that.
Yeah.
Rather than Aladdin, which we were just talking about. Literally the polar opposite of any Guy Ritchie movie and that Arthur movie they made.
Oh, man.
That was so bad.
And I'm watching it and I'm like, man, I think the cast in this, it should be good, I enjoy the trailers as well.
In which one?
The Gentleman.
Oh, in The Gentleman, yeah.
But I haven't heard great things.
No, it's getting lukewarm reviews. It's not getting terrible reviews.
No, it's no Arthur.
And I wouldn't, Arthur. I recently read an interview with Charlie Hunnam saying that one of the biggest problems
was miscasting.
Yeah, it was miscasting, and he had to cut huge sections out because of this miscasting.
It's so weird.
Nothing to do with the script?
Yeah, nothing to do with the script. Nothing to do with David Beckham being in it.
Okay then.
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah, I just want him to do another Sherlock Holmes. I'd eat that up because I watched it.
And he's not making it, but Dexter Fletcher is.
Dexter Fletcher is.
So hey, okay.
That's good. That's good because he made Rocket Man, and Rocket Man is fucking awesome. So that's kind of all the news for box office. It's a new year, new box office.
Yeah, not much is going on.
Not a lot of material.
Star
to work
Wars made
with.
$1 billion. We should say that.
Star Wars did make $1 billion. Thank God.
Strangely, still a disappointment.
It's the
box office wise.
It's the lowest reviewed Star Wars movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's right.
No, me neither.
Even though I don't like the movie as such, but episode 1.
Yeah, I know. Way worse.
What the?
Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, easily worse than I could sit through the Rise of Skywalker again. It would make me emotional. I would have to be strapped to a chair to watch the Clone Wars
it's
again.
Proper homework.
Oh man, it's so bad. Thank God I already remember all the characters and everything in it anyway. Got it all locked up in here. But it's bad. And actually I showed you the video of Colin Trevorrow's original script for Rise of Skywalker, and I think we both agree. I mean, we have the benefit of hindsight, but we both agree that
it sounds better.
It sounds better.
Now, I'm not saying it would be better because that guy's not great either.
No, he doesn't have a good track record, but the script sounds better.
Yeah, the ideas sound pretty cool.
It's worth checking out anyway. We won't do a full breakdown
It's
here.
real, because at first it was like, oh, the original script was leaked, and you're like, yeah, whatever. And now it's been revealed that this is real. So original
script, concept art, which is cool as well.
And for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, J.J. Abrams wasn't originally supposed to do the third movie.
No.
It was Colin Trevorrow. And he was writing this during, he was hired a long time ago.
He was hired before the release of Last Jedi. In fact, the script that was leaked is before The Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
So it's well worth looking into. I like a lot of the elements in it. I think it takes more risks. I like what it does, Yeah,
I like it too.
Oh, excuse me.
It's weird how a lot of films are doing this now, where we're finding about alternate cuts and all like that.
It's this fucking.
I feel like it's the Justice League thing all over again.
It's the Snyder Cut shite. Yeah. I wasn't. No interest whatsoever in the Snyder Cut, and then I watched a video about this Colin Trevorrow version. I'm like, man, that does sound better, And
so you're just feeling what those people feel.
Yeah, maybe I'm more sympathetic to the Snyder Cut people.
But
no, wait, I'm not.
Hey, you got the full script though.
Totally.
It's a lot more tangible than the Snyder Cut, which is just hope.
You mean when he?
It's just fate.
You mean when he photoshops images and he's like, "Oh look, it's Henry Cavill in a black suit." That definitely happened on set. There's no proof it's Photoshop, but like, I'd love if Zack Snyder was just trolling everyone.
Trolling everyone.
Just trolling everyone.
And he's only trolling his true fans.
His true
as well.
fans. Yeah. That would be great. That would be so in line with him, where he's like, my superhero world, they're gonna fucking kill people and say fucking use guns and everything. You know, that'd be a very Zack Snyder move, in my opinion. But
I'd actually kind of like that.
me too. Me too.
Psych.
I'd love that because
The Snyder Cut, that whole crowd have like financed billboards and everything. So can you imagine if he was just? You know what though? He is great to those people who are really involved. He released something there recently. Like there's loads of fan art about like the Snyder Cut, and I think he set up something where people are going to send him all the best ones, and he's going to pick out his favorite and send them like shit to do with the Snyder Cut. I don't know, because I'm not that interested in it.
Me neither.
But if I was interested in it, I'd be like, that's exactly what I'd like my favorite director, to be doing.
Yeah, me too. I'm just like, how long? When did Justice League come out? 2016. I didn't expect.
I think it could be 17.
I didn't expect in 2020 to still be talking about Justice League, a movie I hate and want to forget with every bone in my body. Do
people not remember Batman versus Superman?
Oh, man, it's not a good movie. I like Man of Steel.
I like Man of Steel as well,
Yeah.
and it's a very good building block.
Totally.
Like, it's not great, but you're like, hey, we could move on from this, and like, if this is the first step of many steps, and it just gets better and better, perfect.
So I rewatched Man of Steel recently, and then I watched a review of it, and I remember I was like, man, I like that, but I didn't like it at the same time. And the review I was watching put it into words best. Man of Steel has great scenes, scene to scene. It's really good. You put any thought into the actual things that are happening, though, it is not good whatsoever.
The Russell Crowe sequence at the start,
really good. Like,
I felt ashamed that I was loving it so much. I was like, is everyone else loving this?
I was like, man, I'm really enjoying it. Why?
I'm a closet fan of this scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, again, you think about it, it doesn't make sense. Like, surely Jor-El should be outwitting them because he's a scientist, not a soldier, instead of putting on a mech suit and brawling it out. But I'm like, this is cool anyway.
He's riding beasts and he's diving and all.
Yeah. Like,
he's an action hero.
Honestly, the scene that...
Which is so Snyder. Like, it's exactly what Snyder would do.
He's like, hey, Superman's a pretty tough guy. I bet his dad was a tough guy too.
Dad's like Clint Eastwood, man.
Yeah. I bet his mom like doesn't say much.
But it's super hot.
Yeah.
So fuckable.
So hot. Oh.
Like, Superman's mom is so fuckable.
I love that there's some like weird like fan edit thing or like joke fan thing where it's like Jor-El is like, and now I will imprint myself in it, and the mom goes, oh, and you put me in there too, and he's like, yeah, you're in there as well. And he shoots off, he's like, wait a minute, you didn't put, why only you? He's like, oh, it wasn't enough space, son, I couldn't fit you in.
It's the same deal with the Titanic, and the door wasn't big, she was bloated that day.
Oh man, Brad Pitt said to Leo DiCaprio when he accepted, it wasn't his SAG, it was his Golden Globe, he was like, I would have had room for you on the board, Leo. He literally says that in his speech. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from box office and Superman and all that shit to reviews.
Now, because I was away, we haven't really seen anything significant that's out right now.
No, we haven't. The two of us ended up watching just kind of good movies and just random stuff.
Yeah.
But we advertised the last time that we were going to watch all the James Bond films leading up to the new release.
This is our project. Get on board.
We've committed to do. You should do it as well.
Open invitation.
And because of that, we have watched the first 3 James Bond films.
Yeah, now, I watched 20 minutes of the third
20 minutes.
Because jet lag is real.
Yeah, which is totally acceptable. But in order, those are Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger. And I loved watching these.
It's like an education.
Yeah. It really is.
It's very interesting because I've seen all these movies, elements of it when I was a kid, but I've never fully just sat down and digested them and took them apart in my head.
Or taking in the story of them, you know?
Or lack thereof.
Exactly.
If we're talking about Dr. No.
I know. Like, when I watch this, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember these scenes and everything. Oh yeah, and James Bond, this happens, he steals this, so he goes to this. But I never understood the context of it all. Like
Yeah.
I never fully as a kid took in the story and tried to understand what was really happening.
All the elements that I remembered, I forgot that there was so much space of nothing in Doctor No in
man.
between them. Like it's it's
Doctor-
an interesting experiment to just look at like what started it all off. But see, I constantly was reminding myself, this is the first time this happened in a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
And that's the real significance and beauty
Totally.
of Doctor No. And that's why I think it's like hailed as one of the best James Bonds, because it did create many elements that are used today.
It's a good building block for other James Bond
Great
movies.
foundations.
Yeah, we'll go through them one by one. So Doctor No, it's got like he gets the new gun, you know? You're not using the Beretta anymore, and he's like, "Oh, the Beretta's never failed me." And it's like no, you have to use the Walter PPK, so he has that. You know, you see him in the suits, he's playing poker, he's seducing everyone.
Like Doctor No, Sean Connery, just the creative decisions he makes is pretty much like there's shades of that in every single James Bond.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, every single James Bond and every actor has played James Bond.
It's such a definitive characterization. Like when you see him, he's just suave, debonair. Like, you just instantly, he could be saying anything, and you just kind of want to listen to him.
Every female around them is thirsty.
Wants to fuck him.
It's like, please give me some vitamin D.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and
please.
He's fucking throwing it out.
He's throwing it out.
Making it rain vitamin D everywhere.
He is. And the movies are great because, like, especially in Doctor No, they take their time. You don't see James Bond for the first, like, 10 minutes of the movie.
Which feels strange.
And you get the reveal, and he even says Bond, James Bond. And instantly, it's like, the main characters come in, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool. But, again...
I forgot that he smokes during that scene.
Yeah, his opening scene, he's sitting there.
There's a great timestamp right there.
Totally.
Like, the first time he says Bond, James Bond, he's got a cigarette in his mouth.
Hanging out of his mouth, playing poker against a woman who he then takes upstairs.
Of course, he bangs the shit out of her.
And then he pokes her after the poker game. But
so she is a winner.
She is a winner. And
he beats her in poker.
And she's in the next one as well.
Is she?
She's the girl he is with at the beginning in the gondola in From Russia with Love.
Oh my god, I didn't even make that connection.
It's the same girl. Same girl. Yeah, she's like, I haven't seen you in 6 months because you went off to Jamaica.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So.
And then he gets the call, and she's like, "Please don't leave.
Yeah.
You haven't fucked me yet.
Literally, that's her whole thing. She's like, please, please, please. And she like takes the phone off. She's like, I haven't seen him in 6 months.
He's busy.
And then
he's about to get busy with me.
And then Moneypenny's like, James, that sounds like an interesting partner. He's like, make it an hour and a half.
Yeah, first he goes an hour, which is probably the amount of time it takes him to travel there. And then he's like, make it an hour and a half. And she's like, yes!
Yay!
I get to touch it!
Yeah. And then he starts putting the car roof up. And he's like, get in here, baby. No, but go back to Dr. No. You get the opening James Bond theme, which is amazing.
Well, the first thing is, I forgot that was in the very first movie. We get the camera inside the barrel of the gun.
Oh man.
And then the James Bond shot.
Iconic.
Like, that's in the first movie.
It's so good.
That choice was made in the first movie.
Yeah.
And then we have the title sequence.
Which is obviously amazing.
John Barry original James Bond theme.
So good. And then we get Three Blind Mice, which is it's a weird motif that they keep coming back to.
So strange.
Same with the underneath the mango tree that keeps coming back.
The Three Blind Mice.
Yeah.
It's just the three guys, and they're going around pretending to be blind and kill people.
Yeah.
In the second instance that we see them, the brass is like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Three blind mice.
It's like, remember, these are bad guys.
So lame. What he's doing.
I know. I didn't like that. And then, like, the opening's really good. You're invested in everything. He gets to the island. There's a car chase. And then nothing really interesting happens until he goes to the island. And then he fights Dr. No, who's an interesting kind of villain. He's a bit bland.
It's weird that you only get to see Dr. No for like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's kind of spoken about, and
I read a few things about like the production design, because that was one of the best things about it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first time we've seen an evil lair.
Yeah.
In cinematic history.
Yeah.
Like that set a precedence as well. You're like, here's a template. Evil geniuses have evil layers underground with aquariums. That was a projector.
Really?
That's a projector of goldfish, so they had to make them much bigger because it was stock footage, because they couldn't afford any other footage.
That's so cool. And
so they actually reference it magnified. They go, I think Dr. No says something like, it's 10 foot of pure glass, so it magnifies or whatever. It's actually just stock footage of some goldfish.
And then all the bad guys being obsessed with fish as well is like comes back in all of them. But it's just it's so weird. And then James Bond does have an African American friend who does not age very well.
That guy dies just a few years later, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so careful what you say.
I'm just saying, his portrayal in the movie doesn't age especially well.
No.
It's likable. He's a likable character, but
yo, buddy, get my shoes.
Yeah. He's like, He
actually says, fetch my shoes.
He says, fetch my shoes.
I thought he was like, he's a sailor. I'm like, he's helping James Bond, and then all of a sudden he's like, yo, buddy, fetch my shoes.
He's working with the CIA, and he's like, oh, this guy's, he's undercover or whatever. And then he's like, no, go get my shoes, boy. It's like, oh, Jesus.
And then, like a few minutes later, he's like, hey, you go to that bush.
Yeah.
And then the guy's on fire.
Yeah, and then he's on fire.
Because of James Bond's directions.
From the dragon. Yeah. Yeah. So some elements obviously don't age that well. It's a movie from the 60s. It's never going to.
Honey Rider.
Ooh.
What a name. And she's so sexy.
Everything that happens on the island, from the second he shows up to the end of the movie.
Best bit of the whole movie.
It's so good.
It's great.
You're like you could almost forgive the lull in the middle because it's so much fun watching it, and you feel like
that lull. It's deep.
Yeah, totally.
I found myself falling. No, I was jet lagged as well, but I was like, what has happened in the last 20 minutes? Nothing is the answer. You know, like there's one or two tiny little developments that lead to nothing.
He finds out about the island very early on.
Yeah.
And spends the rest of it kind of clearing up all the bad guys on the shore and then going.
All I remember is that there was a tarantula on his body at one point.
And then he waited for it to get off and he throws it and stamps on it. I love that.
And I love the brasses on every stomp.
Yeah. And then it goes. Yeah.
It's so on the nose.
It's good. And then, directed by the same guy, Terrence Young, we go to From Russia with Love, and it's immediately a better film.
It is. We should say about Dr. No
that
the whole movie, 1 hour and 45 minutes, he solves the problem by just
turning.
And
it's like, what is the most crucial part of this operation? This little valve. I'm just gonna turn it.
Turns the wheel.
Yeah.
And then all the plans out the window.
And then he gets
it's so simple. I love it.
He gets in the classic fight where it's like the villain at the end and he's struggling and he's doing all the moves where he can like judo chop someone on the neck and they immediately fall down dead.
I love that they just he kills a guy by putting just his hand over his mouth. You know? And then he's just dead.
Even how he shoots in it as well. It's the Han Solo kind of. You know, it's at the hip. He doesn't aim. It's just
brilliant.
Where
did you learn that?
It's so good. He like doesn't need to aim at all. He literally just out like this, like a gunslinger, like kind of a cowboy, and it's like that for the rest of the movies.
But as I was saying about like the education I got, like, there's so many cool elements that are in that movie that live today.
Totally,
it's
like
so strange, isn't it? Like
these first three movies are really the building blocks for every
100%.
other.
And I was so surprised that a lot of stuff was in Doctor No.
But at the same time, they're building blocks, but the stories are very different in each one. So the first one, he's kind of investigating something that's kind of standard. You know, he gets closer and closer, encounters the villain and defeats him. Whereas in this one, From Russia with Love, he's tracked throughout the whole thing, you know. And
there's so much going on in From Russia with Love.
Yeah.
You would swear it wasn't Terrence Young, the same director.
Yeah, it's a much different film. Takes its time.
They doubled the budget.
Did they?
Yeah,
it shows.
It looks, and then they double it. Well, they triple it. It goes from 1 million to 2 million to 3 million.
Okay. It does show.
And the box office numbers just go up and up.
Oh, I mean, I'm not surprised. But again, it's the building blocks. The first one, we got the Walter PPK, the suits, the poker, all of that, the debonair. Next one, we get the gadgets. We get more romancing and everything.
We get the henchman. We get a bona fide henchman.
Quint from Jaws.
You get a henchman that has way too much interest in James Bond. You're like, this is weird.
This is
personal for no reason.
I mean, they said that he's been indoctrinated. Like they talk about that on Spectre Island, which is such a great like trope in movies that the bad guys have a whole island.
The training facility is laughable. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
We should talk about the test.
Yeah, the test
that the Russian woman gives him.
The Russian woman just walks around him.
This is the henchman that we're talking about. They're picking out henchmen. They're like, who's the best henchman to take out Mr. Bond? Who's the one we're going to
pick? I wonder if it's the one we saw training to kill James Bond earlier. But whatever. She walks around and puts on some brass knuckles and punches him in the gut. Doesn't even flinch.
He just stands there.
Doesn't even
and then
flinch.
she's like, He'll do.
And he goes out like kind of a bitch later, which is like surprising, you know?
I do like the fight though.
Me too.
On the train. I was so surprised that we spend like 30 minutes on a train.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, maybe not 30, but there's like
a long time.
There's like 20 minutes at least on a train.
A long time. Yeah, it's good. And then we have the James Bond thing where it's like, these are the gadgets we're gonna give you. At some stage in this movie, all of these gadgets will come into play.
It'll be so significant to the story.
Exactly. You are going to use this is the briefcase. At some stage, you are going to use everything I tell you about this briefcase.
So it's got like something like 4 gadgets, and every single one of them are so perfect,
pivotal to what he does. But again, there's great scenes. There's like the gypsy fight scene, which again doesn't age that well.
No,
you know, but it's still a fun.
He also smacks a bitch.
He does.
And then so there's a Russian woman that is obviously playing him.
Yeah.
Smacks her, and she's just like, after she gets slapped, she's like, I love you, James. Don't go. Don't take your dick anywhere else, please.
Yeah. By the end of it, she's still like, at the end of the movie, it's the two of them together. Oh, spoilers for James Bond, by the way, but whatever. At the end of the movie, the two of them are still together, and it's like, you need to dump that bitch fast.
What are you doing?
She is crazy. Like, from the beginning, it's set up that she's like fallen in love with him, and he doesn't even know it's a ruse. And I was like, this Russian woman, I don't care how sexy she has fallen in love with me because she's read my dossier. There's already something so wrong about that.
Everyone falls in love after they just get a taste.
Just a taste of Bond. You know? But I mean, I get it, you know?
I just love how ridiculous that is.
Everywhere
he fucks so many women. In just the first movie, I think there's like 3 or 4, and then the second one, From Russia with Love, he's just fucking everyone.
He fucks a lot of people.
He does. Like, it starts off, as we said, with him with the chick, and she's like, no, don't go.
Oh, there's a great, sorry, I hate to interrupt.
But then he fucks a bad guy then.
Yeah, which is always good, you know. Fucks a bad guy, it's nice. Listen, he may know you're trying to kill him. He'll still throw you a bone every now and again, you know. Doesn't matter. And again, that continues. If there's a woman in it, no matter what side she's on, there's a chance James Bond gonna fuck you, you know.
A high chance
He will. And then I love, he's just an alcoholic. Every chance he gets, he's drinking. I love.
If he's not drinking, he's fucking.
I love in Dr. No, where he goes into the apartment and he goes over to the whiskey and he opens it and he goes to pour one and he sniffs it and he puts it down, takes out an unopened
He's got
bottle,
a fresh
full bottle, opens it, pours it in and drinks from it. It's great. Every chance he gets, someone hands him a drink, you know he's fucking drinking that shit. So good. And then we go to Goldfinger, which you haven't seen.
Oh, I've seen 20 minutes of it.
20 minutes of it, and I'm sure you've seen scenes from it years ago.
Yeah. But like, as we were saying about building blocks, that's the first movie where it really has the bona fide opening with a Bond song.
Yeah.
And they do the whole, they have the intro scene
stylized,
first. You know, the intro with a bit of action, and then it hits with the title sequence.
It's an alligator, or is it a duck that he's hiding under?
Duck.
It's a duck. That's
Do you know what I love about that as well? Is once he gets on the pier, he just chucks it into the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, someone might see that. He doesn't care.
Doesn't give a shit. He fucks it in the water.
He's about to fuck someone and drink some alcohol.
Fucks it in the water, unzips his wetsuit. Perfectly immaculate suit. Awesome fucking watch. Like, so good. And then, you get the opening scene. Like, Goldfinger, the first two, I would say they're James Bond films, but Goldfinger is like an iconic James Bond film.
It's the template.
It's the one that everyone remembers. It's got the DB5. Or is it the DB5? It's the DB5. I'm just going to make sure because my dad will kill me if I get that wrong.
The car?
Yes. It's the Aston Martin DB5, which everyone remembers. It's got all the gadgets. It's got the golden woman. It's got...
Yes.
Oh, it's got everything.
That's been imprinted in my mind since I was a child.
The
dead woman with all the gold paint on her.
Yeah, it's the DB5. Yeah. So, but like the ejector seat in the car.
The gold woman that he gets killed.
He gets killed. This woman gets murdered.
It was his fault.
Totally.
Entirely. And they kind of just breeze over it.
He feels guilty, but like, I don't know.
Not that guilty,
Not that guilty, no. He probably doesn't remember her name.
She's so sexy.
She is, yeah. Even when she's gold. Do you know they had to paint her for like hours and stuff?
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
It took a long time. But and then they even have Felix come back, his American liaison as well.
Because he appears in the first one.
He's in the first one.
But he's not in the second.
Not in From Russia with Love, but then he's back in Goldfinger, you know. They have a charismatic villain with what's his name? It's something gold. It's like Hans or some. It's some German name. Goldfinger.
Yeah.
I
get it up here. Uric.
Goldfinger, yeah. A wealthy psychopathic man obsessed with gold. I love it. Orson Welles was considered as Goldfinger.
Wow.
Oh, that would have been a good choice. But he gets a cool, like, he gets the famous Sean Connery henchman of Oddjob.
Yeah.
Guy with the hat with the blades and everything.
Who's the one who kills the girl?
Kills the girl, yeah.
Because he's the one who karate chops him.
Yeah. Pussy Galore is the name of the pilot.
So Honey Rider is in the first one.
Yeah.
And we get Pussy Galore in the third. I love it. I love the names. Even in the first one, Dr. No, when she says Honey Rider, he even kind of goes,
Yeah. When she says Pussy Galore in this, I think he says, I beg your pardon. Or something. Oh, I think that's what he says.
You know the famous actress that played Honey Rider?
Yeah.
That's not her voice.
No, I know.
So there's a different voice for when she's singing.
Yeah.
For Under the Mango Tree or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's a different actress who voices her just normal voice.
I know, that happened. But when you watch all these movies, it's like watching a Western. 90% of the people speaking, that is not their voice.
Yeah.
You know?
It's weird, isn't it?
It is. It's a weird trope that you forget that happens in these old movies.
Because it's very obvious the ADR
Totally.
that they do.
Now.
Like it's all... Well, now it's much better. It's done much better. But you know when they're on a beach and it just sounds like someone's right next to a microphone talking.
Yeah, but if there's ADR in a movie now, you know it's not that actor's voice as well. Yeah. You know?
But it's done much better, you know? Like they make it fit in.
Yeah, they're much better at blending it.
Yeah, like every once in a while you hear something weird and you're like, oh, I can just hear the room that actor's in.
Yeah.
That's when it's horrible. And you hear that throughout all these movies.
Yeah, I watched Logan recently. Again, because I love that movie. It's a great movie. But, you know, you see Hugh Jackman in the booth. There's that famous footage of him doing the sound effects when he's running through. And you'd never know, you know?
It's done so well. I hate, and it's done in every movie today, where they turn her back and then there's some here's some connective tissue, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, that was never there.
Here's some dialogue to get to the next scene that we didn't know was going to be the next scene.
Or we didn't know was necessary.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, just to quickly finish up on Goldfinger, you're going to finish watching it at some stage.
I'll probably finish it tonight.
Afterwards, we've Thunderball, a great James Bond movie.
And you were saying Tom Jones does the
Tom
theme
Jones
tune.
for Thunderball.
Yes, please.
So good. But honestly, like we were saying when we were going through this, what's the best James Bond theme? We were going to talk about it all week. For the first three, definitely, it's the initial theme.
The John Barry.
It's just so good. There's a reason it comes back all the time because it's.
And again, that was in the first movie.
Yeah, it's like, iconic.
It's crazy. That's so good. That's one of the best movie teams of all time.
Totally. It's I would say the most famous, or maybe Star Wars. Yeah, it's close. But even like Jaws,
I know. You mean any John Williams score?
Any John Williams score, or even Hans Zimmer for a more contemporary person has a lot.
But Hans Zimmer doesn't do melodies as much, even though you still have the likes of Pirates of the Caribbean. You know.
I don't know. It's tough.
But this one it's in the top 5.
It's iconic, and there's a reason it comes back. Like I love the one-off songs that we get at the beginning, and it's
so cheesy.
It's so cheesy,
amazing.
but I love it. It's like, what am I watching? Goldfinger, and it's just
That's one of my favorites. I love Goldfinger.
Shirley Bassey, yeah. They always, if Shirley Bassey's on something, they're gonna make her sing Goldfinger 9 times out of 10.
So good.
It's just so good, and yeah, Goldfinger is my dad's favorite Bond film, so I watched it a lot as a kid.
Right.
But again, it was nice to come back to these movies and actually take in the plot and everything. And there's so much iconic lines.
It's so fun to analyze.
Yeah.
I love just the timestamps as well. Like it's so interesting. Even the pace we're talking about for Dr. No has something to do with the 1962 when it came out.
Even in From Russia with Love, it's like they just take their time with some scenes as well. It's like that scene was unnecessary, but you know, I don't really mind because I'm enjoying it. But like even for just some of the iconic lines in this where he's like, do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. That's one of the most famous lines.
I love his cheesy quips as well.
Oh yeah.
Is it at the start of Goldfinger where he throws the fan into the bat and he's like, shocking,
yeah.
And then that's when he uses the woman as a shield.
Yeah.
Guy's coming in with like a bat and he's like, well, I'll use her.
Yeah, use her to block the bat. Yeah, you won't hit a woman.
Fantastic scene though where he sees the reflection in her eye.
Yeah,
probably one of the first, if not the first time we've seen that in a movie.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. There's a lot of like cool spy stuff in them as well.
Yeah.
Like even in Doctor No during the boring bit where he's putting the hair on the wardrobe to see if anyone's disturbed.
So simple.
It's like that's a really simple but cool scene.
Every time I see that scene, I think there's someone in the wardrobe.
Me
and he
too.
doesn't even look in.
He doesn't look
in there. He just checks his whiskey or his vodka or whatever he's drinking.
Anyway, so far we're loving 007.
Actually, just one last thing.
Yeah.
Talking about things that don't age well.
Yeah.
In Goldfinger, when he tells your one, clear off there, man talk, and then smacks her in the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like in From Russia with Love that happens as well when you know, he's talking to the camera and she's like, will you make love to me in England, James? And Em is listening. And then she's like, are the English girls like me? And he's like, well,
that's all she talks about.
Yeah,
He's supposed to be getting information and she's like, fuck me, please.
Fuck me now, fuck me now, fuck me now. But he's talking and it's like, well, there was this one time I was in China with Em, and Em turns it off and he goes, how'd you go, Moneypenny? And she goes out, she's listening inside.
So he's trying to get information about like some terrorist, some sort of technology, isn't it?
Oh, the lector code or decoder device.
There we go.
Yeah.
And all the woman is talking about is how she wants him to fuck her.
Yeah.
And then Moneypenny is listening, jealous because she wants him to fuck
I don't even
him.
know if she's jealous because she's kind of
She takes it on the chin really well.
She's sitting there smiling. I'm sure she does take it on the chin.
Thanks for the motion, in case I didn't understand. In case it was lost in translation there.
No subtlety in that. I'm not letting that subtlety get. This movie isn't subtle. That's not allowed to be subtle. No, but like, I don't know. She's clearly into him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's almost like, oh, James, whenever he's off banging other women. I love when he comes in From Russia with Love and he tosses the hat and the thing and he's like, for my next trick, opens the door and Em is just standing there and he's like, oh, fuck. So walks
Work,
in.
hey?
Yeah, he walks in like a naughty schoolboy or something. Just these movies bring a smile to my face. I love watching them.
And you know, I've been reading articles lately talking about how it's time to move on from James Bond. Because of everything we've just talked about.
Yeah.
I kind of loved it. I love those elements that don't age well because it's a sign of the times.
It's a sign of the times. I'm
not necessarily celebrating them.
No.
I'm embarrassed for it in a fun way. I'm kind of like, oh my god, did he just smack her ass and say man talk?
Man talk.
Could you be any more misogynist?
Yeah. It's so bad, but in this like, man, those were the times. And we were talking about this before. Sean Connery, not a nice guy, really.
No, I don't like him, like, because he's just so unlikable in any interview.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this before the podcast. There's interviews where there's a female interviewer talking to him, and he's talking about how
it's okay to hit women.
A smack every now and again. If the last word's not enough for her.
Yeah, you know, that's
open palm.
That's literally what he's talking about. But at the same time, I can watch him in this, and I'm like, I can separate Sean Connery from James Bond, I guess, which is...
I find it harder later years to separate him.
The older he gets.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. And look, I'm not going to lie. These movies will take a dip at certain stages. But at the moment, Thunderball, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which are the next two, those are two good ones.
That's where he disappears.
George Lazenby takes over.
And then he comes back.
Comes back afterwards, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah, it is very
strange. And it
strange.
takes a massive dip financially.
Yeah.
I was only looking at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. George Lazenby's On Her Majesty's Secret Service is really good.
So I've heard.
It's it's a good Bond film, and it's funny because he goes undercover as a Scottish guy in it, which is funny because
that's cool.
Sean Connery's Scottish.
Look, there's the money there.
Yeah,
141. So 141 million
for Goldfinger.
For I don't even know.
That's got to be Goldfinger. Oh no, for Thunderball.
For Thunderball.
Oh, okay.
Then 111. For You Only Live Twice. And then a halves.
Oh, sorry. So it's Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and then On Her Majesty's. Well, those are three. You Only Live Twice. I haven't seen in ages. I don't remember what that's like.
But look at the difference Sean Connery makes to the box office.
Totally.
See that? Sean Connery, 111 million.
Yeah.
George Lazenby, 64 million. Then Sean Connery comes back, and people are just like, short memories, we forget.
Yeah.
And 116 million.
And then Roger Moore holds strong. Yeah.
Actually, just before we move on from this, one thing that really interests me is that the first 4 movies are done 1 year apart.
And you know what? It shows. It shows because they're like consistent. They're
And
good.
From Russia with Love is the first one where they kind of go, oh, Bond will return.
Yeah.
So then you realize, oh, this is a cash cow.
Yeah, totally.
Probably when they made Doctor No, we're like, hopefully we can make a sequel.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're making a sequel.
We're making
another
sequel after sequel after sequel. I love that. Like they're setting up the whole Spectre thing. Like it's nice that in the first few Sean Connery's ones, there's like a real through line. You know, like the Spectre, and then there's Blofeld, and there's they talk about him taking out Doctor No in the first one, and then I just like that there's a consistent through line, which is always nice in a series of movies.
But of course, then when the actors start changing, you just feel like the thread's broken.
It gets so messy, so messy. So many actors are going to play Blofeld, like it's unbelievable. But look, it is what it is.
Yeah,
and we're very excited at the moment for future James Bond movies. Fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's been very educational for me.
Totally. I've seen all these before. There's some I have stronger memories of than others, like Doctor No from Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, On Her Majesty's. I remember well. You Only Live Twice. Don't really remember what happens in that. Some of the Roger Moore ones are going to be fun.
I can't wait to watch the bad Roger Moore ones.
Yeah. I mean, they can be fun. They really lean into the cheese in some of them.
And we get like Live and Let Die, where we have Paul McCartney doing the songs.
Man, the man
A View to a Kill.
Yeah.
Duran Duran.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not only Duran Duran, but A View to a Kill is the one with Christopher Walken as the bad guy.
Yes.
Who is... I don't even want to spoil it. And it has... what's her name? The really tall... African-American lady.
Grace Jones. Yes.
As like this badass villain.
Jaws is in it.
Jaws. Oh, man. Jaws.
See, I grew up with that. They were on the TV.
Yeah, me too.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
We should move on.
We really should move on.
But yeah, next week we'll only have Thunderball to talk about. Right?
We should probably watch at least 2 because we got a lot.
Okay. Well, for next week, if you're watching along at home, we're watching Thunderball and You Only Live Twice.
Yes.
And we'll get out of the Connery initial era.
Yeah.
And then the week after, we'll do George Lazenby. And then week after, Diamonds Are Forever. And then maybe we'll do 2 for Roger Moore.
Well, we kind of have to do 2 a week.
Do we have to do 2 a week?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. All right.
We specified that in the last podcast. We need to do 2 a week. And even, I think there's 1 week where we have to do maybe 3.
Okay.
And I'm a bit behind because I was in Brazil.
Okay.
So I think we have to do at least 2.
Okay.
Every week.
We'll do 2 a week. And then maybe we can just watch all the Daniel Craig ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or something like that. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Sure, week by week we'll figure it out.
Yeah, totally. There's a week in between, so plenty of time to watch 2 Bond movies.
I can't wait to watch Thunderball.
I might go home and watch Thunderball tonight. I'm very excited about it. My dad loves that movie as well.
Yeah.
Goldfinger and Thunderball.
I cannot remember Thunderball at all. Now, all these movies though, when I watched them, I'm like, oh, I remember that scene.
Yeah.
As a kid,
I
remember
know.
that
scene.
Yeah.
You make so many connections.
The woman on the bed, the gold woman on the bed though, that's been it's so deep in my mind from
imprinted
when I was a child.
Yeah. Me too. Right, let's move on. We've trailers to get to.
Oh, all right. What we go? What's up first?
Well, first up is Morbius trailer.
Morbius.
Jared
Leto is a vampire superhero.
He's not going to do that in this movie.
Can you do that with like a
decrepit hand?
No, I was going to say a Pennsylvanian kind of accent.
You mean can I do the counting count from Sesame Street?
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Boy oh boy, that was a good trailer right up until Michael Keaton showed up and made my heart break.
It's horrible that what's bad about the trailer is that it's connected to a good movie.
No,
you're like, oh, it's a good trailer until it's connected to a good movie.
Until it's connected to other good movies, and I just hate
like,
it.
that's such a weird sentence to say, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's connected to something else good. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Stay away from the goodness of Spider-Man.
Stay away. This is like where your kid has a friend, and like the friend's a troublemaker, but he's not necessarily a bad kid, and like you hear about him hanging out, and you're like, oh yeah, you guys can kind of hang out, I guess. Oh, I guess you're loosely friends, but if he was like, hey, can Morbius come over? You're like, no, he can't.
We have something on.
We've something on. Yeah, we're busy. Like, you don't like Morbius's parents, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of weird, and it's like, no, you're friends. Like, we'll have like, I don't know, Vulture can come over if he wants.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, we love him, but not Morbius. And
no,
definitely not Venom, okay?
And definitely not Jared Leto.
I told you to stop hanging around with Venom and Carnage, okay?
Oh, fuck that, yeah. Especially Carnage's hair.
Yeah.
Don't bring Carnage's hair
You mean Annie?
into this house.
Little orphan Annie. Listen, like, to get off the analogy of your friend hanging out with these people, what makes this so bad isn't that the MCU is connected to Morbius, because honestly Morbius doesn't look too bad.
And I'm rejecting it, by the way.
Yeah, I'm
rejecting it.
In my head canon, it's not real. Can't be real. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, Michael Keaton's playing a similar character to the other character he played.
He might be playing someone else.
We should specify for anyone who hasn't seen the trailer.
Yeah, sorry.
Michael Keaton pops up as Vulture at
the end, and it's very disappointing.
And of course, he's in Homecoming.
He's in Homecoming as Vulture, which means that this movie is technically MCU, which means they're building the Sinister Six. And look,
I'm not against that.
No, I'm not against this.
But Kevin Feige's not got his glorious hands all over this.
Oh man, there's a great interview between Kevin Feige. It's Kevin Feige and it's the girl from Fox, the lady from Fox who also does all these things. I can't think of her name right now, but someone asked.
Wait, or do you think it's Sony? No,
Sony. Sorry, not Fox.
It's not
Sony.
Amy Pascal, is it?
It is Amy Pascal, but it's an interview between the two of them, and the guy asked a question. Hey, and it's when Homecoming came out.
Okay.
And it's like, hey, is Spider-Man from this movie going to join up? And Amy Pascal goes on this 5-minute speech, but yeah, they're all going to be linked, and he's going to dip into our universe. And Kevin Feige is just stone faced. He's like, I really don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. And then
I've been building this for so long.
And then she finishes her speech. She looks over to Kevin, and he just goes, yeah. Sure, that's going to happen.
Sure, we're going to buy your company.
Look, eventually...
Look, Disney, buy Sony.
Just buy them.
Fucking just buy them.
Just buy them. Fuck it. You have the money. We both know you have the money. Disney, let's be real. You got the money.
Oh, you got the money. You got the money,
Bob. Bob Iger. Hey, Bobby boy. You got the money, Bob. You got it. Go buy them.
Just buy Sony. Just buy Sony.
Come on. Use some dirt. I don't care. Blackmail them. Just don't ruin my Spider-Man.
Buy them because you got so much goddamn money.
I don't care that it's creating a monopoly in the market.
Put your money soup down and buy them.
Yeah, buy them. I don't care it's creating a monopoly in the market, which is inherently bad for businesses. And
we probably will dislike that eventually.
Will eventually dislike that there is this one big giant, monetized thing that is controlling all our media and what we think.
That owns 20th Century Studios now.
And...
Because 20th Century Fox... no longer exists.
And not Disney Searchlight, it's something else. It's like,
Fox Searchlight. It's now something like Fox Pictures or something like that. It's
something
like,
weird.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, not even Fox Pictures, like Search Pictures or some shit.
Play the trailer again? Yeah. But I'm not annoyed that the MCU is connected to Morbius, because honestly, Morbius in the Sinister Six, that's kind of a cool angle, It's
going to be... Well, if Morbius comes into it and then Blade comes into it...
Yeah, totally. That's a cool connecting thing, because Mahershala Ali is meant to be playing Blade.
Jared Leto isn't bad when he's not Joker.
I tell you what, he's a better choice for this than he was for Joker, that's for sure. Or at least he seems to be enjoying this more than the Joker one.
Now, we're going off one trailer.
Yeah, totally. But where
we have no real story except for the fact that he becomes a vampire.
Yeah, and I would very much like if he was a villain at the end of this, but I don't know if they'll do that.
I don't think they have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
Look at Venom.
Yeah, I know.
You see, Venom is more of a famous anti-hero as well.
Yeah.
Where Morbius, he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. Yeah, he was a good guy in the Ultimate Comics.
Was he?
He was, kind of. He fights other vampires, but he's not really a good guy. I don't know. But
he's a vampire.
I've tried to say this 5 times now. I keep getting distracted. But my problem isn't the MCU is connected to Morbius. It's that it's connected to Venom. Morbius is connected to Venom. Therefore, ipso facto, Venom is connected to the MCU. And that is something I do not want.
I know.
I don't want any bit of that filth touching my beautiful MCU.
That kid that you don't really like, he's got a brother who's even more despicable.
Yeah, totally.
And if you get one, you get the other.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, Mom, I'm going over to Venom and Morbius's house. It's like, no, I don't think so, sweetie. Yeah. You're busy. You have basketball practice. I don't play basketball.
I hate that I want to punch that kid in the face.
I know. Listen, he's there's nothing. The kid hasn't done anything wrong to you, but you see him smoking. And he's he's spitting loogies.
He's
and
telling people he's got a PlayStation 5. You don't fucking have a PlayStation 5, okay?
He's dressed real bad and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck me.
I'm pretty sure he's doing heroin. I'm nearly sure Venom's doing heroin, honestly.
Why is Spider-Man talking to Venom? Oh, no. He's not coming to my house.
This analogy's getting deep.
I know. He's like, listen, Kevin, he's not coming to our house. Sweetie, just calm down. Maybe he's not that bad.
may
bad.
fuck up this kid.
Yeah, he's not coming to my house. I swear, he's not getting his stuff all over my stuff.
My kid will not be a heroin addict.
Yeah.
At the age of 5.
Look,
If I was saying to you right before we started this podcast,
yeah,
that if this started filming after Joker came out,
maybe we could have a villain.
but I think this was filming while Joker was in post-production.
Yeah.
Because when Joker came out, everyone was like, oh shit, you can do an actual full-on villain
Yeah.
as the main character and you can make $1 billion.
Yeah. So who
Where
knows?
Venom was, he was an anti-hero. Instantly an anti-hero.
Yeah, I would like him to be a real villain by the end of it, and this Sinister Six thing, can we just keep Venom out of it, please, please? Venom and Carnage.
It's horrible that you're even saying that about Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson.
I know.
They're good actors.
Such good actors, and
Which just shows how bad Venom is.
wasted in that franchise. And
Hey, maybe Andy Serkis will do such a good sequel that it's like, what do they call those things in Men in Black?
oh yeah,
We just forget everything.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Venom 1? No, Venom
didn't
2.
happen.
Venom 2 is the first one.
He didn't eat that raw chicken.
He didn't eat that lobster. Right, we'll move on. Another trailer we have is Guns Akimbo.
I'm angry now.
I'm angry. I'm hot. No, another trailer we have is Guns Akimbo, Daniel Radcliffe, and I've forgotten her name.
Samara
Weaving.
Sure.
Samara something, but she's from
Is it good? Oh yeah, there.
Guns Akimbo. It's Samara Weaving. Yes.
This trailer is glorious.
I love it. It's like Crank, as you said.
Yeah, it's just turned up to 12. I think.
Yeah, I know.
Daniel Craig runs around with guns bolted to his hands.
Yeah.
He can't put on his jeans.
Yeah, and you're like, every scene that you think of awkwardness of having guns bolted to your hands, they play through that.
He can't open a door.
It's great. Can't open a door. Steals a car. Gets in the car. Realizes he's like, oh, of course, yeah. It's
just pure fun.
It's pure fun, and I'm very excited for this movie.
And we spoke about this on the podcast before, that one thing that's so great about Daniel Radcliffe is that after, what was it, Harry Potter, he just made such a strong effort to distance himself from Harry Potter, because that can be a jail. That character, like, it's your biggest success, and also it can be kind of your biggest failure artistically. Another
guy who did this really well is Robert Pattinson. After the Twilight thing, he sort of seeks out cool indie roles that he's Batman now. Like, he's come back to a big franchise, kind of redeemed himself. Edward Cullen is now Batman, and I'm not angry with that anymore.
That's the strangest thing.
Yeah.
You're not angry at it.
Yeah.
Where Taylor Lautner, it really just crippled his career.
Taylor Lautner is playing Superman. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. But and then Samara Weaving is obviously great. She was in The Babysitter. She was in
Ready or Not, which I
you
just recently watched.
You told me is great.
It's brilliant.
And she's in this. And this movie just looks like it's a modern day Crank. Looks like a lot of fun. And I'm excited to see it.
Daniel Radcliffe just keeps surprising me.
Totally. And he's such a likable guy as well. Yeah. Like, whenever I see him on an interview, I'm like, whatever movie he's promoting, I'll go see.
Even when he was in the biggest franchise
of all time.
Like, at the current moment, he was just so cool.
Totally.
About the whole thing.
He just seems like a genuinely nice guy. And he's a pretty talented actor as well.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the last trailer, because we don't want to go too long, and we've lots of news to get to.
Tons.
Is Birds of Prey. The final trailer comes out for a movie I was reminded by Ian comes out next month, February, which is just so fucking weird to me. Like, doesn't make sense. And
we finally get to see something.
We finally get to see Ewan McGregor in the mask.
In the mask, black mask, in his peacocking suit.
He looks great. I'm just excited for him to be tearing apart scenes, just chewing up the scenery just some of my favorite stuff that actors do is just
this trailer. It's working.
It is.
I'm still not super excited though. Like, it's bad that all we're talking about is Black Mask and Ewan McGregor.
I know.
Like, we should be saying, I can't wait to see what happens with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
How did they develop the character, and where does their story go? Instead, we're like, he looks cool in his suit and his black mask.
I know. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like, all the women in it look cool. They
look very cool.
Like, they seems like they're doing a lot of cool stuff. But
I recently watched Gemini Man.
Yeah.
And it's absolute trash. But the best thing about it is Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's so believable.
Really?
As this action chick.
Okay, that's cool.
So that makes me excited to see her as Huntress. Is that who she's playing?
Huntress, yeah. Helena Bertinelli. There you are. That's her character.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah. Helena Bertinelli, Cassandra Cain. Black Canary's
Other names.
Black Canary's name. I won't know that. Renee Montoya is the cop, lesbian cop.
Yeah, Black Canary's in Arrow, so we don't. Oh wait, Huntress was in Arrow too.
Huntress was in Arrow too, and then Harleen Quinzel, obviously. I won't remember Black Canary's name. That's gonna annoy me now. Laura Lance is her name.
There it is, the mask.
But yeah, this movie looks. It's the most excited I've been for this movie so far.
I didn't think Ewan McGregor would look more handsome in a mask.
Yeah, me neither.
But it works even more for me.
It does. All these girls look like Hot Topic dreams, you know?
They really do.
They're like, oh, I'm alternative and I'm cool at the same time.
They're going to be on the front of every teen magazine.
Totally. This is going to be the style. I can't wait for the Halloween costumes that are going to come from this movie, you know? But, yeah, I just hope it's not too Deadpool-y, you know?
Yeah, and I'm afraid that even if it is good, it's going to fail.
Yeah, me too.
Financially, I haven't really spoken to anybody that's excited about this. Now, most of them are like 20-year-old males. So maybe that's not the definitive audience, you know? Like,
yeah.
There's going to be a lot of teenage girls to women that are probably more excited about this than us. But I don't really want to bring in gender into it, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's going to be an interesting one anyway. I'm interested to see how it does. Will I go see this in cinemas? Yeah, I'll go see it.
I want to see it, but it's because like I'm a fanboy as well.
Yeah, I'll go see it. As long as I don't hear it's utter trash.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it on a plane.
If it's absolute trash, if the reviews are like 30%, I probably will skip it.
We'll see.
Same with Morbius, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely. Morbius. Honestly, all I need is the out of it being bad, and then I can just go and I'll never touch that, and my MCU is still fine.
But I want it to be so good because it's going to be a part of the MCU.
I want
Morbi, baby.
I want it to do better because now they're putting a square peg in the round hole, and they're like MCU into Sony Spider-Man.
Just jamming it in.
It's not
shoving it down our necks.
Amy, it's not gonna fit. Shut up, Kevin. I'm getting it in there. And
$1 billion baby.
Yeah, $1 billion. It's like we already make $1 billion. If you just left us with Spider-Man, I'm gonna make it fit. Right. We're gonna move on to news and kind of run through this very quickly because it is very late. But we have the SAG Awards have happened. The Golden Globes have happened. Oscar noms are in.
Oscar noms.
Do you have the list up there?
I sure do.
I asked you that, but I knew you did anyway. So it was pointless for me to ask. But I don't know. You didn't know that you at home didn't know that I knew he had them, but I did know that he had them.
Leave our listeners alone.
Sorry.
So what's really surprising is that Joker got 11 nominations.
11 nominations.
I thought Joker wasn't highbrow enough.
Yeah,
for the Oscars.
I didn't think so either.
I thought it was going to get a few things like cinematography, maybe the score.
Director.
I didn't even think they'd
Really?
do director. I just didn't think they would be bold enough.
You know, people are slamming Todd Phillips because his first movie is like people are coming after him for the first movie he ever made.
What is it?
I can't remember, but it's something like Sorority Chicks or it's some weird.
I'll get it up.
Yeah, get it up there. But it's like people are coming after him about it, and it's like, dude, don't look at anyone's first movie. I bet it's not particularly good. You know?
Look at even Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
He was making those mad bad taste.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, they're kind of fun, but
I don't know.
Compared to Lord of the Rings.
There's something about like,
Road Trip. Oh, Road Trip's his first movie.
Yeah,
Tom Green eating fucking rats and shit like that.
Yeah. They're like people are coming after him about that, and it's like, well, I don't know if he's he managed to make good movies.
Let's look at his Twitter now. His Twitter history.
Yeah, well, that I think that's why I saw some article, and he's being attacked on Twitter about this by the normal people who attack people on Twitter. You know.
Yeah, let's James Gunn him.
Yeah, exactly. But Todd is he's nominated. So the best.
How dare you grow as a person?
How dare you grow? I don't know.
As an artist as well.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
I mean, I'm sure everyone's already seen these nominations. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably don't need us to update you on them. But like Jojo Rabbit got for Best Picture.
That
It's a surprise.
I was massively surprised at
because
that.
I would say it's one of Taika's.
Hey, we called it though. A connection to Nazis.
Yeah, Nazis,
Anti-Semitism.
Jewish anti-Semitism. It
helps.
Like, all I've heard is from people who like Taika Waititi's movies that it's probably one of his weakest. You know.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard the same thing.
So,
I really want to see it though. It only came out recently over here. Like it's in the cinemas now in Ireland.
It's available legally, but I saw it in cinema, obviously. But yeah, you could find it in cinemas and other places. No, but my friend who was like, "You have to watch this movie," sat me down on Netflix and we watched What We Do in the Shadows. My first introduction to Taika Waititi. He hated Jojo Rabbit.
Wow, really?
Hated it. He was like, "Oh my god, I hated it from moment one to the end. Didn't like anything." And I said, "Sam Rockwell's great in it." He was like, "Sam Rockwell was great in it."
He's great in everything.
That's what he said. He's like, "Sam Rockwell is always great." But
if he was in Morbius, he'd be great in Morbius.
He would. Back as Justin Hammer, he'd have to be. Can Justin Hammer please come back?
Come on!
Just to get Sam Rockwell
with his
back.
fake tan hands.
Fake hands and dancing.
Lob him in there.
Oh, man. It's great. But, yeah, that got a Best Picture nom. Jojo Rabbit did. Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. Parasite probably won't win. That'll win for Best Foreign Film.
Yeah, it will.
That's always what it is. They throw foreign film into Best Picture.
Yeah, like, hey, look.
We support
You're involved too.
But you're going to win Best Foreign Film, you know?
Because they know it, we know it.
Yeah, we all know your game, Hollywood.
Little Women got nominated for Best Picture, but have you seen all the stuff about Greta Gerwig wasn't nominated for Best Director?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, there's been a bit of controversy over that.
Okay, didn't know about that.
Like where Saoirse Ronan was making statements about how like it's awful that she wasn't nominated. You're like, come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know. It's like, oh wow, so you have a different opinion to the people who nominated them?
Man, you got to see the Stephen King controversy.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
He tweeted out he was one of the voters
for
the Oscars. I think for 3 different categories. I cannot remember all 3. But you know, there was a lot of stuff about how women haven't been nominated for Best Directors. All the usual stuff that you're gonna hear.
Totally.
And he wrote this tweet that was just. Like, maybe I misunderstood it, but it seemed like all he was saying is that, like, gender and your sexual orientation, color of your skin didn't come into play when he was voting. It was just quality they based it on, and people went fucking mad.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wait, I read it again, the tweet again, and I was like, am I misunderstanding this? Because is that not what you want to hear?
Yeah, totally. Surely that's what you want to hear, right?
And you're one who did, what's it called? When They See Us or Now They See Us?
Yeah.
When They See Us, is it?
Now you see.
Ava Dulvany?
Don't know. Stephen King controversy. Stephen King. I'll just Google Stephen King. I bet it'll come up first. I just want to see what the headlines are. Okay.
But people went mad, saying like it's such an archaic thing to say.
Oh damn! An open letter to Stephen King printed one day ago. Just gonna log that for later. Just gonna read through that trash. Hang on, just check who the author is. Just gonna see if I can. Oh, their name's probably at the end. What's their name? Sorry, you know what? I want to.
Well, this director is a big time director, Ava DuVernay.
Did she direct that one? Him and Her, or it's not called Him and Her, it's like The King and the Queen or something like that.
I'll show you what she made. She made some really good. She did Selma.
A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah. Now that's absolute trash. But she's done some good stuff. She has. Hold on. She's done some good stuff. She did Selma, which was great. Selma is brilliant, and she also done that Netflix series that. When They See Us, which is superb.
Is it? Okay.
And she wrote up saying like when you wake up in the morning and read
feeling like P. Diddy.
When you wake up in the morning
feeling like P. Diddy
and you see one of your heroes write something so like terrible, or it was along those lines, and I was like, wait, what's the controversy? Did he not just say, hey, I'm not a racist?
Yeah.
Or I'm not like sexist, or you know, I'm not a bigot.
I'm just looking at quality.
I'm just looking at quality. That's all I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You know,
I get that.
I'm colorblind when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at quality. And people have been going crazy.
Man, I need to read into this because this sounds so interesting. This is right up my alley of stuff that I love to see.
It makes me makes me feel like an idiot because I'm like,
Yeah.
and I read it again and I was
Yeah.
like, am I not understanding this language? Because it really just seems like he's saying the best thing he could say.
Yeah. Isn't this what you want? No?
But
Yes?
it's not inclusive enough.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Like, how weird would it be if he went, I actually voted for this film because of a gender.
I tried to vote for as many things with white people in it as I could.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like seeing any, any like diversity at my Oscars. That's just me, Stephen
That's
King.
just me. That's
just
how
Stephen King. Hey,
that's how I
listen,
feel.
you don't have to agree with me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Like, it probably does seem a bit preachy, or not preachy, but kind of like, I like.
But like, still,
He's saying what you want.
yeah, that like,
Weird.
I
don't know.
I don't understand it anyway. Like,
No.
I feel like an idiot because I'm like, I only see good in what he's saying there.
Yeah, I get you. I'm gonna read into this. I'm interested to see what people's like responses are to that,
Yeah.
because that's always like you get into you see into weird minds when you see the responses to these things like this. You know?
Yeah,
Like, when
they're
you see-
obviously looking at a completely different angle.
Yeah, like you see like the most bizarre angles when people respond to certain things. Like it's like, oh my god, I wasn't even thinking of it from that angle.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how did you get that from that? Anyway, let's scroll through. Is there any other like big ones that we should like?
Well,
point
it's
out?
interesting. We were only talking about off air that Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
is nominated for Best Actor, which is really
Yeah.
interesting because he got Best Comedic Performance.
Yeah, in the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't win the SAG. The SAG was won by Adam Driver. No, the SAG was won by Joaquin Phoenix for
Yes,
Best Lead Actor.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Who is absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
With every single speech he
he
makes.
seems so nervous.
He seems so legitimate and just
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, he seems like so nervous, and he's kind of like
Yeah.
awkward up
Oh
there.
my God, stop praising me,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. But
Which is the best way to see an actor.
yeah, it's nice.
You know, when you see the actors just eating up all the flash bulbs, like, yeah.
Yeah, but then you see Brad Pitt accepting his award at the SAG, and the two,
Fuck Brad Pitt.
yeah, the two of us are like, stop being so fucking likable, Brad Pitt. Jeez.
Yeah. You good looking,
Yeah.
talented man.
I think you turned to me after his great emotional speech, and you were like, "At least he's ugly."
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's so good.
yeah. Yeah.
Should we call out Best Actress as well? I feel like we only talk about dudes on this sometimes. Saoirse Ronan, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, Cynthia Erivo, I don't know who that is, for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson, Renee Zellweger. Those are great actresses.
Saoirse Ronan's been nominated. I think this is her 4th time.
Yeah, she gets nominated like every year.
She's so young.
The only horse I have in that race is Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story.
Yeah, it's the only one I've seen.
Yeah, me too. So,
And she is excellent in that.
oh, amazing. So good. So good.
It's such a good movie.
And I love that Joe Pesci and Al Pacino are competing in the Best Supporting Actor for the same category. But it's like, I mean, they are the best part of those films, you know?
Yeah. Where's De Niro?
Yeah. I mean, listen,
I sleeping on a bed of money. Like, it's okay.
like De Niro's good in those movies, but Pesci and
He doesn't
Pacino,
pop the way they pop.
No, he really doesn't.
Especially Al Pacino.
Now, he's not playing the character who pops, but still.
Exactly, that's the thing as
But
well.
still, like, yeah. I mean, technically speaking, Leonardo DiCaprio isn't playing the character, or Brad Pitt isn't playing the character who's meant to pop on screen. He's kind of a subdued guy, but
Yeah.
at the same time, he's like,
He's Brad Pitt.
it's so good.
He takes his shirt off.
Yeah, he takes his shirt off. Yeah,
He beats the shit out of Bruce Lee.
yeah, it's great. So yeah, we're very excited for the Oscars. It's an interesting year because a lot of the best recommended movies I've seen.
Yeah.
And I really like.
And there's a lot that I'm dying to see as well. Like 1917.
Yeah, can't wait.
Looks so good.
Parasite, really want to see.
Yeah. Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, still haven't seen it.
Gotta see that. And like
Yeah.
James Mangold directed it, the guy who did Logan.
Yeah.
And it was just announced that him and Matt Damon are going to work again because
Yeah.
Matt Damon's such a likable guy.
Unless he's defending Harvey Weinstein. Do you remember that?
Okay, moving on. What else you got on that
Oh,
list?
Harvey, by the way, first day of his trial happened a few days ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you seen how he's aging?
He's got like one of the things leading. He actually does.
Yeah, I know.
Genuinely.
I've seen it.
It's so good. It's like as his Hollywood power is seeped out of him, he's becoming this.
I have no strength.
It's like at the end of It, where they just bully him to death, and he like turns into the little baby thing.
Well, I feel like he's just wearing a t-shirt saying, "Give me sympathy, please."
Sympathize for me, please.
I only kind of raped them.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Imagine. It's
Like what? Surely it's fake.
I don't know, man.
I'm so decrepit.
I don't know. I just like
Those
are
money injections
would
he's not
people-
getting anymore.
Are people finally going to be satisfied when they bully him to death? Like, is that would people be satisfied then, or do they want to see him in jail, or do they want to bully him? Like, I don't know.
I'm more enjoying watching him age.
I shouldn't say bully. Sorry, bully
Yeah.
suggests that he's a victim in some way. Sorry, he's very clearly.
Yeah, lay off Harvey Weinstein.
Hey, everyone, lay off. What did he do?
Hashtag justice for Harvey.
Justice for Harvey. Release the Snyder Cut. Justice for Harvey. The two worst things.
I love how you put them in the
Oh
same
yeah,
category.
I do. I put them in the same category of people. No, but like obviously he deserves it, but at the same time it's just so weird.
Lay off my Harvey, okay?
It's just so weird to see a man just like slowly like shriveling up almost.
He aged a decade in like a year.
Yeah. It's just man, it's fucking
Hey,
weird.
man, money talks.
Money talks. But yeah, like we were saying, the SAGs and the Golden Globes happened. Taron Egerton was nominated for the first time for a Golden Globe.
Great.
Won as well, which was great. Rocketman, in my opinion, not getting the recognition it deserves.
No, not at all.
No, which is...
I haven't spoken to anyone who dislikes it, though.
No, everyone I've spoken to is like, it's great. And I always say, did you prefer it to Bohemian Rhapsody? Almost everyone said yes.
Yes.
As well. I think it's a better movie.
And the people who say no to me,
Yeah.
which I have had a few, I'm like, oh, well, I don't really care about your
I
opinion
respect
anyway.
your opinion anyway. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's...
Justice for Harvey.
Justice for Harvey. Can we call this podcast Justice
Justice
for
for
Harvey?
Harvey.
I feel like that wouldn't go down well.
Well, I think we have our skunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank God.
And it's the public for bullying Harvey Weinstein.
My poor Harvey. Oh man. Look, we've spent so long on this. It's getting so late. I say we just quickly rattle off a few.
Yeah, go
few
on.
of the things.
Zoom through them.
Captain Marvel 2 is getting a new director and the writer from WandaVision.
Sounds good. I'm into it.
I'm into it.
Aim for a 2022 release.
It's going to be set in the modern day.
Yep.
Hopefully they could do something interesting with her.
Hopefully Brie Larson's likable.
Hopefully she's likable in it. Hopefully they, like, if they're going to make her overpowered, make some cool shit happen.
I want to see her in distress in this movie. I
it'd
think
be nice.
that's what I want to see, her heroic moment.
Yeah,
Rather than her just be a hero throughout the whole movie.
totally. And
I want to see her struggle.
yeah, me too. I want to like her.
I want
But
to see
yeah,
her back against the wall.
Yeah, I want to see a problem she faces that can't be solved by like muscle.
And please, when we're marketing this movie,
Yeah.
stop calling her the strongest hero in the
Strongest
Marvel
hero, yeah.
universe. There's nothing likable about that.
No, it's like
I never want to hear he or she is the most intelligent.
Yeah.
This guy's the most strongest or
Yeah.
most agile.
Totally.
Stop doing that. It's
Totally.
not fun.
It isn't fun. It takes part of the fun of these movies out of it.
Yeah.
When Batman faces Superman, everyone knows Superman is stronger.
Oh, yeah.
But you still want to see that matchup because it's like
Yeah.
maybe Batman could take him down.
And you kind of want to see, how does Batman do this? How does he approach
How
this?
does Batman do this? No, or more importantly, how does Superman muscle through this as
Yeah.
well? That's what's interesting. When, say in the future, because they're doing it in the comics now, if Captain Marvel goes evil, you know, we've been told she's the strongest.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who's going to stand up to her? You
I
know?
don't know. Thanos gave her a headbutt and she looked grand.
Yeah.
She shook that off.
Exactly. So, like, you know, just ease off. We
Yeah.
get it. She's really powerful. Show us that. Stop telling us that.
Yeah.
Same with Shuri. Stop telling me she's so intelligent. Just show me that she's really intelligent and let people make up their own
And
minds.
don't let her embarrass people that we thought were intelligent
Totally.
beforehand,
I
like
know.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, she's like, oh man, Tony Stark was such an idiot. I developed time travel years ago. It's like, oh, okay. All right, well, you're
Wow.
cool. What are those?
I guess I like her now.
Yeah, wow. Oh, wow. You've convinced me. You've told me you're so smart. Man, I'm on your side now. You know?
Exactly.
Oh man, we're just ripping on these characters. I really don't like Shuri. I'm sorry. She really annoys me. I don't know why. I like the actress seems cool.
I really like the actress.
She seems cool.
Now, I don't dislike her as much as you do. I actually really dislike Captain Marvel, though.
Yeah.
And it's not even the fucking character. It's how they decided to present her.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to see my hero struggle.
Yeah, totally. When she gets punched by Thanos in Endgame,
He headbutts her, doesn't he?
he headbutts her and she does nothing.
She just laughs at
She
him.
laughs at him, but it's like, oh man, it's like, oh, she's so bad. But then when he puts the Mind Stone and punches her, it's kind of a satisfying moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
It should be a moment where she's holding against him. She's like, oh, fuck, maybe she can finally do this. And then he takes the stone and it punches her. Whereas when she's doing that, I'm like, don't let Captain Marvel beat Thanos, please, please, please.
I know. And the most formidable bad guy in the MCU headbutts a character and she just laughs at him. How are we supposed to feel as an audience? Are we supposed to go, amazing?
Yeah.
Like she can't be injured.
Yeah, totally. It's like when Superman comes back to fight.
Like, it's only human. Like, it's only human that you're gonna go, that's a bit much.
That's a bit much, but then it's satisfying when he punches her, which is shouldn't be.
All my favorite heroes just got their asses whooped by this guy, and she just comes along, and takes a headbutt. Again, square on.
You know what? She had it tough. Like, it's bad timing to put her in right before the big finale.
I know, yeah,
totally. But they just need to go about this a different way and make her more likable. Yeah. That's my whole thing. Obi-Wan Disney Plus show is delayed, but Ewan McGregor went out, fanned the flames. He was like, listen, we saw the reaction to Rise of Skywalker. We thought we'd delay it, make a few changes.
He was like, hey, what's up with all this drama?
Yeah.
He actually literally was like, what's up with all the drama?
I think he laughed.
We're just trying to make it a little bit better.
He literally laughed and he was like, man, the reaction online is so fucking out there, you know?
I read an interview with him where he's like, I think the scripts are great, but they want to make them even better. So, like, okay.
Yeah.
So early 2021 now is the kind of aiming to start filming then, rather than summer of this year.
Yeah.
It was aimed for this summer. They were going to start shooting the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, no Oscar nom. Oh, sorry.
No,
what were you going to say?
ahead. Go ahead.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't mean to rush, but we've loads of news here.
Yeah.
We've been 3 weeks away.
Go ahead.
Adam Sandler didn't get an Oscar nomination. Lots of talk about this.
I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, me neither.
But you just watched Good Time, which I was telling you on a few of these podcasts that you'll like Robert Pattinson as Batman after you see that movie.
Yeah, and I do.
And it's the same guys who wrote and directed it.
Totally.
Two brothers. The Safdie brothers?
Safdie brothers, and you told me about a cool short film they did.
That they released there,
Silverman
that they made.
Versus Goldman.
Yeah,
which sounds like,
or Goldman versus Silverman.
Which sounds like two Jewish producers fighting over a movie.
I think it's two lawyers, I keep thinking.
Yeah. But, so apparently it was because we've heard different things, but like I heard it was because he was kind of bragging about how good his performance was, whereas you heard.
I think that's a weird one because any interview I've seen him in, he's like, nah.
Really?
Like, I've seen, like, everyone is like, oh, you know the way Ellen says it on every show that she has people on, she's like, oh, I hear there's Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he seemed to just shake it off.
She's talking about trolls. She's like, I hear there's Oscar buzz.
Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
But anyway, I heard that it's a kind of closely knitted group who vote for the Oscars.
Yeah.
For the people who are nominated, and supposedly they don't like that he makes absolute trash in the middle of all these great movies that he releases as well. They like someone who's very consistent, like Leonardo DiCaprio, who's just like, boom, great movie, boom, great movie.
Clearly don't like him that much, though. Took them to The Revenant to give him an Oscar.
But he's always gets a nomination, though.
Yeah, that's true. Hugo Weaving, not in The Matrix 4.
Sadly, he confirmed that it was scheduling conflicts, and they did want him to be in it.
Yes.
Which hurts, because then I'm like, they were going... Like, when I think of The Matrix, I think of Neo, then I think of Agent Smith, then I say Trinity and Morpheus are kind of in the same category. Yeah. They come together.
They come third.
Yeah, they come third.
Yeah, and then after that... Name one more character from The Matrix.
Link!
Hey, okay.
No, he doesn't come to mind, but I was trying to think of a name as someone. Or that pale woman. The twins.
Yeah, the twins.
I like them.
Yeah, they were cool.
No, another Agent Smith.
Yeah, that's it. MODOK series coming to Amazon, an animated series starring Patton Oswalt,
who loves the character,
always wanted to play him on screen, so now he's getting to do that, and hopefully, and the other voice cast sounds good. I won't go through it now, but it's like seasoned voice actors, people you like, voices you recognize.
Perfect.
And it seems like it's going to be a family sitcom, but with MODOK. So if you
Patton Oswalt is just perfect.
If you don't know who MODOK is, just Google MODOK.
He's a good looking fella.
He's a good looking guy. Okay, and when you see him, you'll be like, oh yeah, Patton Oswalt, definitely. You know, Billie Eilish is doing the Bond theme, which is
very interesting choice.
Very contemporary.
It was going to be, I heard, well, not going to be, loads of rumors were saying Beyonce.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not Beyonce.
Me too.
I think Beyonce just gets too many pats on the back, man.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like Beyonce would overshadow the
Yeah,
Bond theme. You know
just
what I
the
mean?
way she overshadowed the Lion King.
Yeah, exactly.
She had a Beyonce song in, like there was a Beyonce song in the Lion King.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a Lion King song.
No,
but it felt really like, hey, here's a Destiny Child song almost. You know.
So Billie Eilish is an interesting choice, very contemporary. You know, popular. I
Looking
like her.
forward to it.
Like her music. It's going to be interesting. We were saying we really like the Jack White James Bond theme from Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, him and Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
It's just so different. It's so different. And it kind of goes back to like the Duran Duran era. You know, where like if you for a kill, you're like, what Duran Duran are doing?
Yeah, and you're listening to it and you're just like, man, this is not great, but it's kind of great at the same time.
Yeah.
Collide or disagree, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Terry Jones from Monty Python died at 77.
77's early, man, for a rich guy.
It is, and it's sad because I like Monty Python and I like Terry Jones. I know you're not big into it as well.
I'm just uneducated in the field, or just uneducated in general.
Uneducated in the field. Me too. Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He's excited. Love the script.
We got a chubby Farrell on our hands. He was on Jimmy Fallon there, or Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. And
he seems like he's smitten over the script.
Yeah.
He's saying it's darkly beautiful,
and he's still
beautifully dark.
And he's talking with. He talks about Abracadabra for most of it,
which is a kebab shop in Ireland.
It's a serious Irish reference.
And if you look at his body at the moment, he's a fan of kebabs right now.
He is. He's a fan, but
he's in a kebab stage.
Yeah, but apparently they're still talking about the design of the character.
Yeah, he hasn't started filming yet.
No, so I hope to do something cool with it. There was a picture of him with bleached tip, like bleach hair,
I've seen
like
that.
grey hair. So I'm very interested to see what they do.
And it looked like he was on set, but maybe they're just doing pre-production.
Yeah, maybe they're just
figuring things out.
Testing a few things out. I hope they don't go like crazy with it. Like I hope it's like we were saying, a subtle debonair gangster who happens to be called a penguin.
Every time Colin Farrell does an interview, I am just so shocked at how articulate the guy is.
Yeah.
Like he seems so well educated and like just so smart
and very self-aware
and very funny.
Very funny. Yeah, he's totally like every movie bomb. If someone brings it up, he's like, that didn't do very well.
Sure, Jimmy Kimmel talks about him as Bullseye and Daredevil, and he's like, I really enjoy that. He's like, well, that's a small demographic.
Yeah, I'm like, you're one of the few. And then
he seems genuine though. He's like, no, but like, I'm happy that you like it.
Like, really, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be. He says like, I'm not trying to be facetious. Like, I really appreciate that you liked it.
And I'm like,
hey. Yeah.
Someone's got a thesaurus. Not me. I better look that word up.
Yeah. I kind of know what that word means. Simon Pegg, Mission Impossible 7. He says he'll be there. He'll be there. Which sounds great.
It's expected, but it's still glad to hear it.
It's nice to hear.
It's nice to hear that it's confirmed because Benji is the second character. We're talking about characters we think of.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Ethan Hunt.
And
then it's Benji now.
Yeah.
You know, he started in the third movie.
I know. It's
not
Benji.
Ving Rhames.
No, it's not. I need Benji in there.
I do.
And then, funny enough, it's not even Ving Rhames after that. It's Ilsa.
Ilsa. Well, no, it's Ilsa's legs. If we can get Oliver, it's great.
Yeah. But
make sure her legs are there.
have to appear, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi is apparently pegged to be doing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, not 100% confirmed, but this was the Hollywood Reporter talking about it.
He directed the last episode of The Mandalorian, and Kevin Feige is producing a Star Wars property.
So
allegedly, so people are seeing some cohesion. It sounds interesting. Anyway, so that's all the news that I have on my list. I think that's
all the news.
Pretty much everything. Hunk, we're giving to Ewan McGregor for the way he tackled the Obi-Wan news.
Yep.
And for him in Birds of Prey trailer.
He pops.
He pops.
His suits pop.
Again, I just hope he chews up scenery. And I'm sorry that in the Birds of Prey trailer, the thing we're most excited about is Ewan McGregor. I know it feels wrong.
It's exactly what they don't want.
I know, but I just can't help it. It's exciting.
Now, at the same time, it's because of Suicide Squad as well, being such a bad movie. I'm not that interested in this movie because of that. Like,
I struggle to be excited about the others. But
I'm a fan of Margot Robbie in many ways.
Yes,
as an actress and as a beautifully delicious woman.
A beautiful woman, and as Brad Pitt said, a woman who got her feet out for Quentin.
Mm-hmm. He thanks her feet.
He thanks a lot of people's feet. And for Skunk,
it's the public. For how they've been treating Harvey.
No, we can't do that. We can't do it. Secretly, it's the public. But really, Skunk goes to Harvey Weinstein, you bad man. And
the way people...
and then... No, we can't.
I love the way that the charges have given him like instant spina bifida or something like
I know.
that.
He's shrunk. He's turning into the old man from Up very slowly.
He looks like Danny DeVito all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of his neck is like non-existent anymore.
Oh, he has no neck. He's no neck.
Yeah, it's interesting.
He forfeited his neck.
I mean, I get it. You know, all that public outlash, it's gonna age you, but he deserves it.
Yeah.
So Harvey Weinstein gets skunk.
Can't believe we've been talking about Harvey Weinstein.
Me neither.
Didn't see that coming.
Me neither. But hey, I told you.
Sadly, that's not what the actresses were saying.
Sadly not. Listen, I told you we'd find skunk in the show.
Yeah,
we did. So thank you very much for listening to episode 33 of Straight to Series. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
All the good stuff. Get us everywhere.
We will be back next week, having watched 2 more James Bond films.
Can't wait.
Me too. Can't wait. And yeah, we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.